to be sure that whatever kinds of tests or monitoring should be in place or could be conducted would be implemented. And so I think that this is the kind of information that staff will work to bring back to the council's consideration likely in the fall, and certainly work with the council president and the committee chair on finding the best venue to conduct that review.
Thank you. We discussed this 2 work sessions ago very thoroughly. We were very concerned that the advocates brought to us more information, and what we said we would do at that time is to try to monitor and test the product, and we're going to work with staff and our Department of Environmental Protection and other experts in the field to come up with a mechanism where we can monitor and test these fields, because we haven't done that up to this point. And I think that the advocates we heard from brought up some very, I thought, interesting and important issues that we want to make sure that our fields are safe, that our children are safe, and we will be working with you on an ongoing basis. And so I look forward to seeing what staff is going to bring to us for the fall, and I know that my colleagues on the committee can speak for themselves, but we've been through 7, as of today, work sessions on this issue, so we are very thoroughly vetting as much as we can without being experts in the field, so we're going to rely on some independent evaluation from the experts that are clearly in the Washington, D.C. area. So we look forward to that, and I will turn it over to my colleague, Council President Andrews.
Thank you, Chair Irvin. And you're right that I've forgotten the total number, but we had a number of work sessions last year when the artificial turf was proposed here in Montgomery, and we went through a number of the issues that came up at the time. I find the study by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation reassuring, and I think there has been a lot of improvement over the years in the technology of artificial turf that makes me supportive of this as a alternative to traditional grass fields. The advantages are clear in terms of use, in terms of the amount of extra use you get out of an artificial turf field compared to a grass field, especially given the difficulty of maintaining grass fields at a professional level, and probably the impossibility of doing so given budget constraints. So I think that this appropriation makes sense. I'm going to support it. I think we should continue to monitor the scientific evidence that's out there about artificial turf, and track closely what other states and counties and the federal government agencies find. But I think that there's enough support in the scientific community in terms of the safety of artificial turf to merit going forward, and I support the appropriation.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Knapp.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The only thing I'd like to get back, I appreciate all of the comments, all the work everyone's done, all the discussions we've had so far as it relates to the safety piece. The one issue I'd like to look at when we get to some point, because I'm guessing we're going to continue to have conversations on this topic, but is the actual utilization. We've talked a lot about how we're going to increase utilization, and a lot of your main stadium fields now in our high schools, a lot of times are kind of dark unless there's actually a competition there, because we're trying to keep those fields rested for the competition. So to get a sense of how often it's in use and who it's in use for, and just to try and get a sense of the schedules that Richard Montgomery and Walter Johnson were, just to kind of see how many additional organizations are participating in addition to those who have provided the resources for it, but how many other school organizations are participating in it, just to try and get a sense, or other community organizations, to see how we've expanded the level of use for not just the folks we're paying for, but beyond that. I think that'd be helpful to see in time.
We'll be happy to provide that. I believe community use public facilities has indicated that they are leasing out the field at Richard Montgomery at every available moment. They have people waiting to use the field.
Okay, I think just to see, because that's an issue we're trying to address lots of other places and figure out, so it would be good just to have the practical experience.
Absolutely, and when the committee last talked about this, the RM field had not been open long enough to
Right.
get a really good sense of that. However, the initial indications were not only the use of that field, but the ripple effect of, keeping
Right.
RM practices at home meant that other fields were open, and we can definitely try to quantify that some more now that we've got more field time.
And just to see, because I think given the different relationships between the different schools and whoever is the partner, you'll see some variability there too, and I'd just be curious to get a sense of from community to community, how the utilization changes and who's taking advantage of it.
We can try.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. So it appears 3-0 from the committee in favor of the special appropriation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we are adjourned.